couple of statistics there on the screen as well. Pistol win percentage is something that hasn't gone too well for Cloud9 across this tournament. And I'd like to see them continue to pick that up. I know every time I mention it, they actually do start to win pistol rounds, so fair play to them. Certainly in the latter stages of this tournament, we've seen more pistol victories, and that evidently has led them to winning more rounds. So we'll see whether they can do the same here, as we are going to kick off map number 3 in this grand final.
Sentinels on the attack. Shinobi getting some intel. Did get some information. Zoms is going to be pushed up all the way in shower here. And needs to be careful. He's going to be really banged up. Needs to get out of dodge. And look at the pressure to try to come in here. But if there's one person that could hold this thing off, absurdly enough, it is TenZ. Has a blast pack. Also has some paint shells to work with. Will back away. So good job there. Just to pick up that slow orb. Always can rely on Mitch to have your teammates back. These are two players that are a force to have on one side as well. But they got some utility out of that, Gaskin. They're going to just pretty much go right back over and work this A site now. They have some time.
Yeah, Sentinels think they've done the job there by like kind of sussing out B site, getting out some utility from the side of Cloud9. But it's not quite worked out because Cloud9 are all here on A site. They very much are expecting this push.
And the timing of the wall was so clutch, it does not prevent them to move with the molly. The kills are starting to come in fast and furious. Sinatra, he's going to get picked off by Shinobi. The in-game leader has himself 3 kills. Last player left alive. It's going to be Sick. Can Sick live up to his name? Looking for another, but he can't quite get the shot off. His teammate is going to stick it. Sick goes through the smoke. He goes through the smoke, but Relix is right there. And they manage to get this one. I thought that it was looking like Sick might have been able to clutch that one. A smart play there from both players, really just playing within the smoke. And hey, foggy eyes, no problem. You're going to get the job done if you're Relix.
Decent defense, though, from Cloud9. Very good at reading what Sentinels were trying to do on that pistol round. And it's going to be a pistol victory for Cloud9. Exactly the way they would like to start this game. But they just need to be careful going into this round 2 now. Because we have seen them throughout this tournament sometimes throw away this round. Potentially, it's because they've been a little bit too aggressive at times. I think they've learned across the tournament that they don't need to be that aggressive on this round. They can kind of sit back. They can wait. You're going to see TenZ on the judge, just holding out Hookah. And that is terrifying as well, because he can do some disgusting things with blast packs and get up in the face of opponents.
Mitch is going to engage here in just a little bit. Does come around the corner. Relix gets that first blood on Dapper. What a shot there from Mitch. Looking for another. Does land it. That's going to be a triple for Mitch. What a play there as well. Holding down on the Hookah and not allowing them to get through there. You shall not pass.
And Mitch has done this time and time again, just hasn't been buying up on that second round to give himself enough money. There you go. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Gets himself an op. And this is one of the best ways to kind of try and fix this third round stalemate that we see so often. You don't usually have the rifles. You instead you have the SMGs, you have the judges, whatever. But if you just have one op, this early pick that Mitch is gonna go for could be huge, could be vital for potentially getting this third round. We'll see whether he's able to grab it or not, but again, we're seeing an aggressive Sage from Mitch.
Yeah, look at Mitch. Oh, misses the shot. That's a little bit off brand there for the battle Sage, but will back away there for the time being. TenZ. Judge in hand. Judgment Day is upon us. He does throw out 2 blast packs, also some paint shells to boot. Go ahead and send Gary to get the job done here. Maybe a scout out, but I think Gary's just going to go on a wayward adventure by himself. For now, though, Vice does some dirty work inside of the showers. Oh, no. What a play. I love that. Just giving their the guns. Now, Vice, he was already dead to rights in that corner. Dapper gets the kill, but the gun switch was there. TenZ couldn't cross to get it, so he tosses that one over to him, and TenZ is going to live to fight another day. 3v3 as Shazam's going to look to gain some knowledge through a short.
But it is still a 3 versus 2 on site. Mitch still firmly plonked himself on B site, and to be fair, he's done his job. He's kept the op, and he has scared them away from B. Now, one reason why he might not be rotating towards A too quickly here is because he doesn't want to give possibility of this op actually transitioning to the hands of Sentinels. He wants to make sure that whatever happens here, he survives. He either rotates late to help a couple of kills coming from his team, or he just survives as Relix gets 2. Dapper at least will reply, but there's no time, and Mitch is going to be in prime position to get the snipe from Hookah here. This is going to be the round. There it is from Mitch. 3-0 to C9, and boy, are they turning up today.
Man, Mitch did the thing that one, his name is Mitch, so it just cracks me up because it's just like the most unassuming name you could, like, Shinobi, Relics, Sinatra, Mitch. But it works, man. Freaking Mitch. Love this dude. He is dynamic for this team. What he's capable of doing, the way that he gets aggressive. Sages, please just take note. This is like a new wave practically. I'm really big on this guy because he's been performing round after round after round for C9.
To be aggressive here on Hookah. He's going to back off just because he didn't fire that shot. He had the tightest angle, but he's gained the information, and that's all he needed to do that. The rest of the team now can rotate if they'd like, but they don't want to over-rotate and force anything too quickly. But now with the Owl Drone coming out, I think that's a heavy suggestion of a B push. It is going to be an eco round for Sentinels, so they're probably going to want to do something fairly fast here if they don't see any aggression coming out of Cloud9.
There will be some protection if they do want to get into Hookah, but Mitch has eyes on that one. Also, Relics does have the orbital strike, and he's going to call this one. Mitch does get the headshot. Orbital strike is now going to come down. Players are going to have to get out of that one. Kills starting to now come in hot and heavy, and just like that, Cloud9, in a blink of an eye, are up 4-0 against Sentinels here. And Gaskin, perhaps, I mean, you can make the case that they're just booming them.
Yes, they are. They are booming them indeed, if that is a word we want to use to try and describe this. I think the scary factor for Sentinels is if they drop another map here, they're probably going to be heading to a Game 5. And Game 5 is going to be Haven, and they just got slapped around on Haven. So that is going to be in the back of their minds. We need to be winning this. We need to take this only as far as a Game 4, so we have to win on Bind. They have beaten Cloud9 on Bind before. It was 13-9 in the group stages, but this is a different Cloud9 than we saw in the group stages. We witnessed that on Ascent. It was so close, even though realistically, Sentinels should have walked that compared to how they played in the group stages. So I think we're seeing a different beast as we get further in this tournament. Cloud9 are just clicking more and more. They're gelling a lot better. And of course, TenZ is doing TenZ things.
Wild to imagine that a while ago we were, I mean, I hate to use this word so sparingly, but we were kind of like memeing on C9, right? It was just like the 10 show, and he was the only one that was doing anything, and it was just a constant debate about, this team, they just need to find like either some coaching or they need to get some kind of management to decide what they're going to do. But now this team seems to be popping on all cylinders. While that's going on, though, Sinatra, he's going to try and see if he can get a little aggro on the back with the run it back. It ends up working out for them because they are able to get one kill. Now, Spike is down. Relics on the opposite side of this wall. Hasn't made a lot of noise quite yet. Mitch is playing back on defense. You see him with that op just looking for an angle, but they have this locked down now.
And the last thing they want to do here is kind of sacrifice their economy and give away weapons if they don't feel like this is doable. Time is ticking away, so they have to go soon. The orbital strike does force one out, and that's going to be beautiful. As quick as that. Zoms gets a 3K, and they were able to just get all of the rats out of the gutter there, utilizing the orbital strike. And Sentinels finally on the board.
They needed it, Dan. It was like looking dire for a moment there. And it took a lot of effort from them, right, to run it back as well as the orbital strike, but that's what you got those ultimate abilities for. You want to turn the tide and give yourself a slight advantage? Well, that'll do it.
Well, Hunter's Fury is going to be available for Shinobi, so Sentinels need to be very careful not to get tagged by the Owl Drone. There's inevitably going to be coming down B long here, I feel. One of the easiest places to get any sort of action out of Hunter's Fury is going on B long, but he doesn't see anyone because of the smoke, so instead he goes across, tries to get info, but Mitch has already provided him with that same information, gets the opener onto Zoms, and yet again, Mitch finding that first frag, finding that first blood, and being so impressive for the team.
Shinobi with a defensive Hunter's Fury just to kind of stave them off here. Relics heard the orb getting picked up and is going to make sick pay for his hubris. Relics, look at just the confidence from him as he pushes out. Does do some damage. Shinobi's there to back him up. Some more kills starting to come in, and the defenders once again would hold this one off, courtesy the final kill, a headshot from Vice onto Dapper. They look to flood outside of that hookah, and it has not been working out for them. But that round really started when Mitch got that shot off in the showers, and stopped whatever kind of information that they could attempt to gather, because it was just, at that point, they were playing that man down and they just didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah, these early picks from Mitch are just providing so much information and just giving them so much confidence going into the rest of the round. It allows other players on the team to get slightly more aggressive in other areas because they think that there aren't going to be players there, or if they are, they can try and take a 2 versus 1 man advantage into it because they know they have the ability to lose one of those men and then still have that advantage as long as they get the trade. And last time these two played each other in the group stage, it was only 6 rounds that Cloud9 were able to get defensively on bind. They've already got 5 here after the 6, so they're putting themselves in such a better position. If they can get 7, 8 rounds, I think they'll be very confident going into their attacking half.
Strong start for Cloud9 and a strong tournament for them, without a doubt. I don't know if a lot of people had factored in whether or not they can get up to this point. Not a lot of utility used to get onto this, just one of those smokes to give them vision, and Sentinels will manage to get that spike down. Mitch is hanging out by the teleporter and will actually get bodied by Shazam in turn. I don't think they will be able to obtain that op, so they'll just have to worry about that for another day. They're going to need to burst out of this one. Hunter's Fury is going to come out. Shazam has him lined up. Did actually tag one, looking for an angle on the other side, but while that's going on, you have teammates continuing to clear out some more kills. Sick and Dapper is certainly going to be good for advice. Was in a bit of a pickle there. And Sentinels will get themselves their 2nd round win.
And I wonder if this is how Sentinels need to approach this game now. They know that Mitch is going to be holding certain angles with op. He has been flip-flapping from A to B, so it's very difficult to try and predict where you're going to go. And you can't really avoid the op because he's going to be there or thereabouts. But if they go fast and furious onto a site, then they give themselves a chance of, like, at least getting that trade if there is going to be the op there earlier. They just need to make sure they're not peeking this op individually. The amount of times I've seen Cyphers get taken out in the early stages where they're lurking and then suddenly there's the man advantage. Instead, do what they did just in that round. They almost just walked onto the site with confidence, just trusted their aim. They didn't give away any indication they were pushing the site with any utility, any smokes, so there wasn't any rotations. Cloud9 had to fall back. They had to just rely on the outer plant, and it didn't really work out for them. Their retake wasn't that great.
Fast, furious, and confident, like the 15th Vin Diesel movie.
Was Dwayne Johnson rumored to be in that one? I don't know. You guys are your friends now, so I thought I'd just ask.
Best friends. Someone in chat said though that I should stop talking about myself and talk more about the game, so I'm just going to focus on that. Gaskin, thank you so much.
It is great advice. I'm going to be completely honest with you, Alex.
Shut up. Tenz is going to get called out. There goes the showstopper. Things go boom. Doesn't connect for it, though. He's going to back them away. On the other side of the site, though, Spike is going to get placed down courtesy of that wall that will be protecting Tenz inside of the cubby. Dapper's going to be on the opposite side, and there was just a little too much for Tenz to worry about there. So now that this wall's going to go down, this is where Sinatra can actually go a little crazy. Locates one, tries to get the second, but Relics is going to be up on Heaven to try and protect himself there.
Right here.
These players are going to be dangerously weak, Gaskin.
He got some big damage done there. He does have Mortal Strike as well. Opts not to go for showers. Instead, he sends it towards Lance, but here comes Shinobi now. He has prime position. And there is going to be a very weak player in Lance. He gets the tags. Now he just needs to hold this.
Oh, winnable, winnable, winnable. Oh, my word. Shinobi. I mean, Dapper had just 3 HP, man. I thought that if he was able to just rip away from that, all he had to do was just breathe on him. No social distancing necessary. He would have just easily been able to get that kill. That said, though, they're able to pick up that win. Now winning 2 in a row. Perhaps Sentinels can start to put something together here, Gaskin.
Yeah, now money is going to be pretty sparse for Cloud9, and they're going to be heading over to the Sheriffs. Although I do think Cloud9 are a pretty scary team when they have the Sheriffs, because what we've seen, Tenz, Mitch, and Shinobi, actually, I could name all 5 of the players. Their ability to hit single headshots with the Sheriff means it's terrifying to push onto a site. So you need to make sure you're holding a default, making sure no one's going to be pushing behind you, no one's going to get any easy shots by flanking, and then you all need to group up together and push a site to make sure there's no trades from these Sheriffs.
It's like they have this delusional confidence with the Sheriff, and in certain rounds they're just tapping people. It's bananas. Tenz, though, is gonna be in a bit of a pickle. World of Hurt, 68 HP does go down. Off screen, Relics gets a kill against Dapper. Shazam, though, going deep into the market here. And anticipate. Here's all this movement.
Were they able to recover a gun? They were. Relics has been able to pick up a Phantom, and it's just going to be a case of him saving that one now, and the rest of the two just trying to do a little bit of damage on the other side, see if they can get any exit frags, and then move on into the 10th round with a 5-4 advantage, which I still think is not so bad, but at 5-1, they were probably thinking this was going to be heading a little bit more in their favor. But this is how detrimental it can be.
Relics has the gun.
Lose it.
Watch out, because, sorry, but if Relics wins this, it'll be pretty big for them. That spoke too soon. Little caster curse there. So the objective, trying to gun Gaskin, not going to work.
Not going to work out indeed. Sinatra is going to be there just as the final failsafe to ensure no one is going to be able to have a little sneaky ninja defuse, which is not really something we see anyway. I do wonder whether there'll ever be a change in meta where ninja defuses become a possible thing. It might need a new agent, because sitting in smoke doesn't really work, because you just get spammed down, and there's so much of like ways to actually see where that person's going to be with the vision you can gain from certain agents. I guess that's what's exciting really about Valorant, is there is so much changes that are going to happen, and that's why I say the meta is constantly going to change and constantly going to develop. But as we go into round 10, 5-4 then, money yet again for Cloud9. We'll see whether this op can make a little bit of a difference in the early stages. But it sounded like it was a whiffed shot, and Tens is caught, unfortunately, in the orbital strike of Zoms. And that's not how they wanted to start.
Microwave 10 served up for dinner. That is unfortunate. But Vice is going to try and even the odds here. Sinatra, connection on devices. He went back for the peek again. Shinobi going to be way back in sight. Will be good for the kill against Shazam. Sinatra, while that was going on, actually pushed forward. Relics is there to back his buddy up, and he is actually going to get out of there, Shinobi, because he was a little weak. And then Mitch from heaven with another shot, and he backs away because he was weak, but also wanted to use that Hunter's Fury. This has been an amazing defensive hold here for Cloud9.
I mean, especially considering they lost the first player in Tens, but now they've got all the info that Sick is going to be on site, and Sick has to go Sick here if he's going to be able to win this round. It's a 1 versus 2 at the moment, because old Sova went for the big old flankaroonie. We'll get the first. Nice little headshot onto Relics. Now he knows that there's one player in heaven. We'll be able to heal himself up. Can have a little look. He is going to look towards short here as well. He gets the second, and this could be the third. He does go for the spray down. Now will we see the possible clutch here from Sick?
Sick is going to be dancing around the truck here. Mitch is going to be creeping around the corner cold with this op, and the connection's not there, and Sick clutches it after the plant. Oh, you let him know. Let him know. Oh, my. Give him the business. It's warm.
I mean, Sick had no right winning that round. Shinobi even went for the full-on flank to try and surprise him coming from short, but he was wise to it, checking all those angles, hitting all those shots. And for all we talk about Mitch and how impressive he's been, there was a couple of opportunities to get the kill with the op there, but he just wasn't able to find it. And now in the 11th round, money again is going to be bad for Cloud9, so we're probably looking at a 6-5 bar anything crazy. And maybe it's going to be history repeating itself. Maybe we get something like a 6-6 that we saw in the group stages.
That looks like it hurts a lot. C9 have been great in the past with these sheriffs, but you know that Sentinels are prepared for that. Aggressive hold from Mitch too, if actually Dapper goes for that cross. And Sick will have the read on Mitch as soon as he comes through here. Makes him rather weak as well. So Mitch on this flank, and Dapper is actually going to be hanging back here while the rest of the team's going to be working on the A site. Freely get onto this. No utility all that necessary, given that they have had this advantage. And Sinatra, don't you dare try and hit him with an LMG. That's his job.
I mean, Sinatra and Shinobi, both of them, what they've done when they've been playing Sova with the Ares and the Odin has been disgusting. Shazam takes down Relics, and this round is going to be just a formality at this point, as Mitch is going to be the last remaining player just to try and damage the economy. I imagine they are going to opt to try and go the same way. Now they've got the information, they're not going to be going to the defender spawn. They don't need to hunt him, really. Although, as I say, that Dapper does what he likes, doesn't he? He's going to say, hey, I can
Oh
get an
my
extra kill
goodness.
on the scoreboard.
This isn't good. Oh, it's basically a tag team maneuver. And sick headshot. It was worth it though. For him, it was worth it.
I mean, Sick goes down, he takes an extra death. Doesn't really matter in terms of their money because we're going into the last round of the half. And we've not seen 10 step up as much as I thought he would on the raise. But I think that's more a testament to how well Sentinels have been kind of pushing together and ensuring that there hasn't been any easy peaks for Tens with the op. Like,
True.
Tens was flying out of hookah yesterday, like blast packing out. But maybe this is also him respecting Sentinels a little bit more than how Cloud9 played against Homeless. It felt like a matchmaking game yesterday when we watched Cloud9 versus Homeless. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, C9 just looked so comfortable, confident, and they were like, yeah, let's just push these guys. Let's get aggressive. Let's take them down. It's a lot more thought process going into these pushes now and these defensive strategies from Cloud9 because they know how good Sentinels are and because they've already lost to Sentinels once this tournament.
Next map after this will be Split, which according to the stats, Sentinels are at 100% win rate on that map. 5-0. C9 38%. So remember that as this matchup continues here. Sinatra pushes onto the site. He's sending everything out to see what he can get out of this one. He will be backed away. Sent back with the run it back. They are safe though onto the site. Dapper will be getting this down. Orbital Strike's now going to come down here, but Sinatra around the corner. Relics does get the kill. Spike is planted. Mission is done. Sick brings Dapper back into the fold here, but it's going to be short-lived because Relics is there for 2. Mitch picks him up.
You will not kill my ally.
And now we're starting to see here as a half is looking, well, mighty fine for Sentinels given how it started. But I think Cloud9, they're going to be more than okay with the 6-6.
Did he just res him in Orbital Strike and then die because of it as well? I think that just happened. Relics just got given a free kill. That was bizarre. But I can understand the reasoning for Sick trying to get him up instantly and trying to get the man advantage because their post plants weren't that great. That's the trouble with Orbital Strike. It kind of forces you into such horrible positions that the retaking team can take advantage of that because they know you're not going to be in a certain radius, so they know which angles to check. So trying to get out of those angles, trying to get that res so that you've got at least more firepower, I understand why he went for the res. But 6-6 for the half. Again, history has repeated itself. And again, Cloud9 being that swingy team that we've spoken about, GB. I mean, like you said it yesterday in the interview. What is it about them winning 4 in a row and then losing 5 in a row or vice versa?
Just in their DNA, bro. That's it. Just how it is. All right, well, Tens is going to get a little aggro here as... I should say on the other side, Sinatra got a little aggro, backing him away. Tens was just doing the job of an attacking player, but ends up getting sent back, tail tucked between his legs. Zoms could get a nice molly against this wall here if he banks it. I think they knew that as well.
And we really
with this
need to
lineup,
see...
if they push, he'll be okay.
But we need to see 10 stepping up on this race here, because if you look how important Phoenix was on Sentinel's side, he had 3 run it backs during that half. We need to see Showstopper being popped that much so that they can force their way onto site. Because in a way, Showstopper and run it back work quite similarly. It's just about clearing that site and giving the ability for your teammate to push for free, because everyone should hide away from it. At least they do more so for Showstopper. Sometimes they do it for running the back. Sometimes they'll be a little bit more confident as here comes the pistol round.
And Sick from the distance on top of Heaven gets the first blood. Mitch is going to fall down to that one. Not sure around this corner. Look at that flash off there, Relics. He was just caught off guard. Sinatra's waiting for the support on Heaven, which 2 players are going to be there to back him up. Tens, though, isn't going to give him the time to be able to settle. And while that goes down, Dapper does get the final 2 kill along with Sick. And that's basically going to do it there. So they will be able to go up in this series, or in this game, I should say, rather. And it's so far, Gaskin, I think that they played that one. They waited, they bided their time, C9, and then they went right for the attack. Not many options that they would possibly have. Sinatra, though, holding the other side of the truck there, and the kill on Relics, that was just great. It's good timing, really threw everyone off there, and a good use of his utility.
There's so many good headshot angles on A site. So on a pistol round, if you've all got ghosts, it can be very difficult for people to push on and get into those post-plant positions. And Sentinels just played that one perfectly, and they hit their shots, which is what they've been doing kind of all tournament long, really. That's why they're here in the grand final. This round is probably going to be a little bit of a throwaway round for Cloud9, but maybe they can do something on the eco. I think what's important here is they try and get these ultimate orbs. They try and pick up the ability to get their ultimates a little bit later on in this half. That's something that Sentinels did so successfully on their attacking half. They were controlling these areas to make sure they got the ult orbs so that they could use those ultimates in more important rounds when they knew that the rounds were duds.
I remember when I was first shown the ultimate orbs, and I was thinking to myself, I don't think people are going to care about that too much. And boy, how I was wrong. There's just so much value that you get out of this. Oh. Dapper was just looking around. Zom's going to slow them off with a molly. Look at all those players banged up on short.
Smoke's down.
All bruised and bloodied. They're still going to have to commit to this, and Zoms has a great angle. Can get some shots off, but will be backed away. Sinatra with 3. Looking for another one, but there's Shinobi. He had his back, his teammates back. Does get that kill. 17 HP, though. They think they know where he is.
Just important he gets the extra 300 here by getting the spike down. He's done his job there. He's survived. He's got onto site. Spike planted. He's not going to win this round unless he's, well, anything short of a miracle. But there you go. He goes down to Shazam. Just bangs him through the wall. And it is going to be 8-6 then, as expected. But now Cloud9 get their buy up. Now I'm going to be keeping a keen eye on what happens here. Are we going to see an op come out on round 3 like we so often see defensively for Cloud9? Or for their offensive style, are they going to go just for the kind of 5 pure rifles here and try and go for some sort of quick execute? But I think realistically they should go for a default just because there could be something a little bit tricky coming out of Sentinels now as they have a couple of Bulldogs and an SMG you still see there.
Sinatra has run it back this round.
Already?
Yeah, already. I could see him...
That's his 4th of the game.
Yeah, I can see him holding this because it appears that he's going to be playing further back on B site. And then once they push in, that's when he's going to look to run it back. He's not going to just do one of those basic run it backs where you go through hookah and you try and catch him off guard with your flashes. You know, like that's just not going to happen. That's not what Sinatra would do there. And heck, I mean, there's a possibility he just saves it. Saves it for a rainy day.
I mean, with how he's been playing, I don't see him saving it, mainly because he's getting it back so quickly. As Tens gets the opener onto Shazam, and that's the Tens that we're used to seeing, just having that ability to get those opening frags. And now maybe, with the man disadvantage, we might not see run it back pop. Because you're completely right. You don't want to use it in a round where you think you're going to lose. You want to use it in a round where you think you can actually benefit the team and give them the chance of winning. And yes, okay, sometimes that can be a round like this where you are short of weaponry and you want to give yourself a little bit of a better chance. But at the same time, if you throw it away wastelessly, I mean, the rest of the team is going to say, hey, well, why didn't you save that, bro?
Hey, bro. Would have been a better idea if you saved it, right? No? Don't agree with that? Okay, great. Thanks, bud. Typical Phoenix, man.
I'm glad we've had the same matchmaking experience.
Yep. Been the same. Zom's going to do the tried and true, a stall molly to try and throw things off as they look to jump up. But Tens is having none of those shenanigans. Sends him a blast pack, tells him to hold that. A site's available to them. They're freely going to be able to put this spike down. They waited. They got to look over at B. Tons of value, a kill, some utility. And Zoms keeps on playing that lamps play, and it's crucial, it's necessary, but they're really just ending him before he has an opportunity to have any kind of effectiveness, you know?
Relics 18 and 12 as well. And keep an eye on Relics during this attacking half, because when we spoke to him yesterday, I asked him about what's the decision making behind being a Brimstone and when you decide to get off site and when you decide to stay on site to help your team, or you look for some post-plant mollies. He does have post-plant mollies up his sleeve. We don't see loads of them. We haven't seen loads of them during this tournament, but he certainly has been popping them off. Not every single round they plant, because of course it's stupid. You don't want to just let your team die. But if he can get off site, if he is going to be watching that flank, which he was in that round, he does have that ability to have the post-plant molly if he has saved that Molotov, because he doesn't always. Sometimes he uses it a little bit earlier just to try and suss out where people are, and that's good. I think having that ability to decipher when you're going to use the molly, whether it's early round or late round, just makes a brilliant brimstone.
Yeah, the decision on utility has grown to become more and more prevalent as this game has evolved. Players were always sending out, util like, I double Reyna Leers, right, for like no apparent reason, or 2 flashes with no follow-up and no value out of this. Now, Sinatra runs it back down through B long and forced them all the way back. So that I would say actually was a job well done with that ultimate, because now they have like an idea that they're not really going to be looking to commit too much. And now they're grouped up at A. This is exactly what they did before. These smokes are going to come down and expect this rotation from B to happen immediately.
They are walled off in showers, though, so that makes things a little bit more difficult, but they're not going to hesitate. They're not going to slow down. Hunter's Fury gets popped, and Shinobi says, you know what, screw your wall. I'm just going to blast through it. Hunter's Fury doesn't catch anyone. They're going to have to be a little bit more patient.
Credit there to Zoms, man. He did that play yet again, and it worked out. But the difference here is that he had Dapper to help him. Last player, it's going to be Shinobi and Zoms. A Bulldog and a Dream will get the job done. He'll upgrade that one to that nice Oni Phantom.
I think that was just a shame that Shinobi didn't really gain any information from the Hunter's Fury. Something that he's been doing so successfully throughout this tournament is not just using it when he gets a tag, and not just using it when he knows when someone is to try and get the kill, but instead scouting out the kind of known areas where people stand, whether that be lamps, whether that be cubby, and just trying to give as much info to those players who are pushing through short. He wasn't really able to get that info, which meant they were pushing in a little bit blind. And unfortunately, they pushed to their demise, but Tens gets the opener onto Sinatra. And that's twice now where Sinatra hasn't been able to get these pushes.
A few sweet first bloods there for Tens. Kind of looking like the round that they won just 2 rounds ago. Also, Tens does have Showstopper, only ult that is going to be online. Expect, though, the res actually coming through, and then they will be playing for this retake potentially. Tens is going to hang out still. Be short, committed to this. He's waiting for the res. He's waiting for the res. They're playing this one out. Oh, man, I actually think that was pretty clever. Waiting for the res, because at that point, right, you might as well take advantage and use it. Site's going to be wide open. So they got the knowledge that the Cypher was there, the Sage was there. Go ahead, put this spike down. They're going to have to retake this one from defender's side.
I mean, what was more clever, waiting for the res, or the fact that Sentinels sent 2 to ensure they were able to get the res? Because sometimes you're not going to have the wall available to get the safe res because they used the wall so early on in the round. But here comes Six straight onto the site, gets one onto Mitch, bursts straight through the cyber cage to try and find a second, but he doesn't. Relics and Shinobi will clean things up, leaving just the lone Shazam on his own, and this is going to be a save, I'm sure.
But they invested 2 players to go pick up 1. And now look at what's happened. Their options became severely limited. Just simple mathematics after they got the kill on A site let them know like they were safe. They were fine to go for this plant. And the retake was going to be challenging. Shazam got no value out of that Hunter's Fury, or at least none that would have been helpful.
This was what I was talking about when Moses asked us, like, what should we expect from Bind? Like, it's fast-paced, but it is a lot about the IGL and how quick they are with their decision-making. They saw the res there, Tens has gone down, and suddenly you need that call to say, okay, quick maths, where are we going here? We need to go A because it is going to be more free. Where has Sage been playing? Where have we seen Six? Six usually at A. We haven't seen the wall there, or we saw the wall already, and now she's over there. So a quick decision-making round for Cloud9 finds them 9-8 here, and again we've just got such a close encounter between these 2 teams, and it has been the perfect grand final. No one wanted to see a sweep, no one wanted to see just one team dominate here. Instead, we've got 2 of North America's best teams dueling it out on every single map that we have to offer. It's only 4 at the moment, but still, that's cool.
Little asterisk there, 4 at the moment. But imagine when we get a 5th though.
I mean, it's going to come.
Alex is looking for that camera. All right, so they slow this down. They're going to just back up here. Some warning shots being fired by Sentinels. Vice has taken advantage of showers here. will be pushed up far. And thus his teammates are going to go and back him up. 10 still has that showstopper at a short. Look for him to potentially be the initiator here. He doesn't have a lot of options, unfortunately, for him, but he's going to have to fly over this one. Rockets down. Boom. Does get the kill. But his teammates, they just get shredded like Swiss cheese inside of the showers. Relics, though, he's going to be good for one. Does come out. And this spike now should be able to go down here. Oh, no.
Careful now.
He's burning him. He's burning him. He burns him. Sinatra gets cooked relics. But now it's the two aces here. Sinatra versus Tens, but Tens comes out on top. Ties it up 9-9.
How often do you have Swiss cheese in a shower is my real question. I know it made sense because of the call out, but in my head, I'm just thinking of you, Swiss cheese in the shower, and it...
Well,
actually,
Dan, I'm a cheese connoisseur, so I consume cheese in all areas of my home.
All right, well, that's good to know, and it was... At the first thought, it wasn't a nice picture in my mind, but now as we go further, you know, it's not so bad. But 9-9 now, and that was a really important clutch.
I'll tell that to my wife.
Tens. The fact that he's been able to clutch that one up, just nice little spray down to heaven, means that they get advantage, and they send the economy quite far down here for Sentinels, where they're going to be on a little bit of a half-buy, but here comes the push right on through the teleporter. And Sinatra has done some real damage with the Stinger here. Now everyone's wise to it. They know where he is, but he's still doing damage. Oh my goodness, there are a few weak players now.
Yeah, they are. They are rolling deep here. I love it. Me and my posse. Well, I mean, you know, posse's kind of weak, but you know, it's okay. They're kind of weakened. Not the best weaponry. B site's available, so they'll just place that spike down. Get this next round win. Gaskin, what a game this has been. Truly, like, top to bottom, I've just been floored by what we've been witnessing today.
I mean, there's sometimes, like, as a commentator, where I appreciate what I'm watching just because of, like, the analytical point of view, and sometimes I just appreciate it from the entertainment value, right? Like, these games and this entire series has been fun to watch, and it makes you want to play. It makes you want to get straight into Valorant and try out some of these things we're seeing players do on their end, and I know that a lot of us probably can't do the things that some of these players do, but the fact that it makes you want to play, in my eyes, is always a sign of a good esport, as this round is just going to play out slowly but surely. Six going to see if he can get any exit frags here, but it's going to be 10-9, and Cloud9 are going to take advantage here and take the lead in this game. They, of course, had a very early lead in the first half, but Sentinels then brought things back with quite a solid attacking side. Now for Sentinels, this is a very important round, GB, because they're going to buy up yet again. If they lose this round, there's suddenly... They are right back down to the bottom of the gutter with their economy.
Economy could be in shambles, Gaskin. Critical round for the defense. Let's see what they do. Pressure's on. They lost their last game on Haven, 13-6. Just got shellacked.
Goes there. This goes here.
I try not to use the word slapped after the meme of Homeless and T1 when I said that,
You don't need another video made after you.
Yeah, I became a meme, which is okay. I mean, that's always a sign of success, I feel, when you finally become a living meme. Yeah, you are literally a living meme, which I think is great. Like, well done. You've been able to succeed in life.
Chat, spam what face right now. Just do me that favor. Get my numbers up. Twitch has to recognize me eventually.
FYI, he gets $1 every time you put that face on Twitch, so if you want to help Goldenboy, spam him. If you don't spam it. It's great. It's okay.
All right, so Tens would push through this with the nade, but he doesn't check behind him. So he's done that play so many times where he goes forward because no one's been hanging out back there. But they downloaded him. They knew exactly what he was going to do. He's done that at least 3 times in this game because it's worked for them so much. He's cleared out hookah. They got ownership of that. And now they know exactly where they're going to be because of the neural theft.
Typical Cypher, just changing up sites, being a little creeper, and taking down Tens that could be so important for this round. But there's still an idea of heading towards A here, and the res is possible as well, mind. Here comes Orbital Strike, which might just be the perfect distraction. You can see, yeah, there is the res, but there's the opposition Orbital Strike. You don't see it on camera, but in the minimap it was there. Shinobi goes onto site to take down 6, but the res does not count for anything. Straight away, the Orbital Strike shuts it down.
Oh boy, I did not see that one coming. Vice stuffed by Zoms. Zoms still hugging this wall. Shinobi's going to push up with all the confidence in the world. This was such a critical round for them. Only player left alive is Mitch. Zoms 3 kills that round, no problem. The critical round for Cloud9, they come out on top. 10-10 is the score.
I mean, Zoms has done so well there. I love that. He knew exactly where Tens had died. He knew that the res was available on the side of Mitch. So he's just positioned himself between A and B sites, or at least close enough to B site where he can use Orbital Strike onto Hookah. As soon as he heard that audio cue, wham bam, thank you ma'am. And that is an easy kill to deny the res. And that is a big loss, I feel, because if you don't have Tens as an entry, then you're losing quite a lot as Cloud9, because that's what Raze is for, right? Like, you get so much out of her, you blast back your way onto the site. But we're all tied up at 10-10, and I can barely breathe with this series. I really don't know which way it's going to go. Usually I have an idea, whether it be based on statistics, based on how both teams are playing, but they're so evenly matched right now. It's coming down to those clutch moments, the decision making, like the ultimate decisions as well. When are we going to use them? Which round should I save them for? It's been great.
Dan, do you think that the possibilities are endless?
Like, the possibilities with this series are endless. Goldenboy.
I like that. It's good. Good stuff.
Revealing area.
Shazam just sending a few shock bolts forward. Pushing back a bit. The recon as well. Tens a rare situation. Misses the shot. Misses another one as well. And that was his target too. Had he gotten that kill, he wouldn't have killed Shinobi. And then they would have some shower presence. Sinatra's going to be lurking in the smoke like a creeper. But Mitch stops that one right in its tracks. A short wall is up now. Spike is down. Zoms has just been on fire thus far. And to think that he was on the sights of Tens. Tenzo does find the target and said it's going to be Sick who goes down. There goes Tens, and he finally will do the job against Zoms. One player left alive. It's Dapper. He's clutched out these a few times. These players are going to be very weak. Sage, super weak, but it's Mitch. Mitch, ladies and gentlemen. 4 kills there for the 3rd officially signed player of Cloud9. Brings them one step closer to winning this game.
Mitch is so good, he almost makes me swear on broadcast. And that is something I have never done. I get so close when Mitch is playing because he is unreal. Like, he should not have realistically won that fight. You saw that Dapper knew where he was. He knew he was in lamps. He had more health. He had the advantage there. But Mitch still wins the fight, still clutches out and gets the 4K. Cloud9 take the lead yet again. And money not great for Sentinels. They've got a stinger to work with here. So if they lose this round, Cloud9 are at 12-10. And that final round, well, Sentinels will be just working with pennies.
Probably the most important first blood that will happen here. Shazam going for a cheeky peek here down long. Back away. Few ults are going to be online. Sinatra will have his run it back available. The stack is going to start to come here right by B Fountain. Or I should say Vice. Just being ever the lurker with Cypher. Might as well collect this orb.
Yeah, just give a couple of audio cues and just try and scare Sentinels a little bit into thinking it could be an A push, even though it's very heavily going to be a B push right now.
Shinobi, Hunter's Fury is out. Vice gets the first blood. Oh, that's big. That is big because he's been lurking there for a hot minute and it finally paid off.
There they are.
Sinatra now run it back state. They're all going to teleport forward. They teleport back over to the A site. They're going to go right over to their buddy. That's going to leave Zoms here to be the LMS to hold this thing down. He needs his teammates to get there soon. Has to stay alive as well. Playing the cubby right by A lamps. Spike is down now. The retake begins. Shazam gets that first pick. It's going to bring things up to 4-4. Shazam is also going to be dangerously low as well. Tens nails the shot. Shinobi. Oh no, Shinobi has to be careful not to take this over to his teammates. And Shazam gets another kill. 2 players left alive. 6 around the corner. Shinobi goes down. It's just down to Relics, and Relics can't do it. A tied game. Relics cannot do it. 4 kills for Shazam. He was a superhero at the end of that one.
I mean, that Hunter's Fury was just massive, just being able to tag that first player, and unfortunately they were all just caught in a very tight space, and it allowed him to get that pick onto Vice. And then it was the confidence where they all walked on site together. Because Cloud9 had gone through the teleporter, it meant that their post plans were all very different than you would be if you usually pushed onto a site. Usually you'd wall off, you'd be able to kind of take cover, you'd be able to maybe take lamps, but instead of, they've gone through that teleporter, they're avoiding lamps. Instead, they're taking post plants in showers, which just meant that they were very subjectable to an easy push from the Sentinels. They knew exactly where they were going to be, and they were able to squeeze them on that site.
And also, Vice had no movement options too. It was either move away or you end up getting yourself and your teammate killed. So Shazam got 1 kill with that Hunter's Fury, which ended up being just a death knell for them. And then they freely got on site. Yeah, it was just everything that Sentinels needed to work that round did.
Well, now Cloud9, their buy isn't going to be amazing here, but there is going to be an op for 10s. But of course, if they lose this round, again, their economy isn't going to be great. We were saying how the last round was crucial, but I think every round in this game has been crucial because there's so much to be gained from it. The tracking dart will be removed, so a little bit of information has been had here on short. But what a nade that is. Dapper has to push because of it. Tens gets the frag, and he gets a second. But there are trades from Sick and Zombs, so it's a 3 versus 3 now, GB.
Ten's gonna hold the angle here, and he hits the shot. Orbital Strike is down. He tries to fly away from there and will manage to do so with 77 HP. The spike, luckily, was actually going to be further away from them. Tens has managed to obtain it.
And he got Showstopper.
He has Showstopper, man. This is huge. Ooh, oh, he doesn't have a blast pack. He doesn't have a blast pack. He's gonna have to shoot through it. He's hopping around. Just jump in here. Relics is holding this angle. Oh, but Shazam connects. Only player left alive is Tens, and he just has an op, 77 HP. They know exactly where he's going to be here as well. Shock Dart is out, but Tens, if he holds this angle, but Zombs is there and connects it. Oh boy, we got ourselves a bit of a nail biter here, Gaskin, as Sentinels will get match point. Can Cloud9 respond?
Oh, and that's just one of those moments where instinct is kicked in for Tens at just the wrong time. He's got the Showstopper, he's gone for the jump peek, he's seen that one player lamp.
You saw him do it too.
His brain goes, yeah, I've got Showstopper. This is an easy guaranteed kill.
I got a blast pack.
But no blast packs there because he's already used it to get away from the orbital strike. It means Sentinels go 12-11 up here, 1 away from map. Well, they've got map point now, 1 away from winning this map. And well, 2 rifles to work with on the side of Cloud9, an Ares, a Ghost, and a Sheriff. This is a very, very shoddy buy, but I have seen them win these. This game is not over just yet.
Not at all. If you are a Sentinels fan, which let's be real, there are a whole heck of you in the chat right now, you are very happy. Why? Because not only is your team up match point, but your team also has a 100% win percentage on map 4 split. The math is on your side. But Cloud9, they sometimes like to defy mathematics with the way that they play. I don't think they were big fans of the subject in high school.
A couple of jump peeks just to try and gain information to see if Shazam is going to be off in here, but they've got enough info now as all the utility is going to be spammed from Sova, but
Dapper
he
gets
spots out 2, but Dapper gets 2 openers of his own, and now this could be the end is nigh. Sinatra is there to get a 3rd, and surely Sentinels win from this point. At least Vice has done something, but he's in a 1 versus 4 GB, and I don't think this is going to go well.
Yeah, as I heard in an old Halo match all these years ago, push because you can't lose. That's basically where it's at right now, and they do it just like that. Sick gets the final kill, and Sentinels pick up the win here in game number 3. But what a match it was, a nail biter till the end.
Just think how different that game could have gone with just minute decisions, little things, ultimates being popped at the wrong times, at the right times, reses trying to be used maybe in the wrong situations. And we look at this score, but I mean, Relics, we have